many of us are making a whole bunch of money. If you go through our YouTube or our Patrons and you ask, if there was a poll that was done from, the average salary of these guys in our Patreon, you would probably see it's well over $100,000 a year. Many of us are getting to the money, right? Many of us are making even above that. To probably the average is probably around like 300 grand or something like that. Now, what I would say is this. Is that, you have the world that paints pictures of, entertainers and rappers being the people who actually make the money. Well, I can tell you this right now. That's not the case. That's not the case. You're going to have make a lot more money within your life, within your career, than any entertainer or rapper would ever do. Take, for example, Tim Cook. Tim Cook made over $100 million just last year himself. Okay. He's the CEO of Apple. Okay. And there's other levels to this as well. And Tim Cook probably is at the highest level, or one of the highest levels. But if you think about it, that's a lot of money. You're not going to find a lot of rappers and entertainers that's doing that. Now, you might find movie stars that potentially do that, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and all those guys, but they are not rappers and entertainers. So I just wanted you guys to know that, guys, there's another way of doing it. And that's the reason why this channel exists. That's another reason why this channel exists, because there's another way of doing it to get to the money that you want to make in your life. And it doesn't have to be with all that hoopla junk that exists over there that you don't believe in, that cause a lot of challenges within our communities and so forth. So I'm going to hit this piece of it right here, because many of us want to get to the money. Many of us want to get to the money. Many of us want to get to that next level. Many of us want to get to that $100,000 salary, to that $200,000 salary, that $300,000 salary. And here's a gentleman who now makes $100 million a year, but he had to start somewhere. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, the largest, I think the company with the largest marketing, or the largest, TAM, total addressable market in the world, over 3 trillion. That's Tim Cook. He's making a whole bunch of money. BJ says, I have got to know this channel from Kev Tech Support Discord channel. You guys are really amazing. It's 3 a.m. in Australia, still watching you guys. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for joining here, BJ. I appreciate you for coming through, man. And Kev Tech IT Support, another fantastic content creator as well. Good brother of mine. Professional Black Ops, another good brother of mine. What I did when I came across those channels, I was talking about from an entertainment perspective. But yes, absolutely. Kev Tech IT Support is a good brother of mine. Matter of fact, he's going to be on the channel relatively soon. Him and I are going to connect on next week, actually. Noah Page is in the house, too. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you coming through. Noah as well, too. Noah is another Patreon member of ours. Guys, if you haven't joined the Patreon, go ahead and join the Patreon. Fantastic. If you want to support us, you can join the Patreon as well, too. But Noah is another good brother of ours, a Patreon member, getting it done in D.C., making money, getting it done, going back and get his MIS degree as well, ITM. Just getting it done. Another great Patreon member of ours who's getting it done and has a lot to offer from a mentorship development standpoint. Become part of the Patreon. Kamal says most rappers and entertainers are broke, in debt, and spend a lot of time unemployed. That's true. It's absolutely true. They're looking for work. Kevin Lopez says, I support anyone named Kevin. I love that. Oh, I love that. I love that, Kevin. I love that. So let me get to the article real quick on Tim Cook, guys. Let me bring that up here real fast. Let me do a share. Let's do this. Share screen. All righty. Apple Tim Cook. Let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Apple Tim Cook. So Apple CEO Tim Cook earned almost $100 million in 2021, a 550% increase on the previous year. Look at that, man. That man doing it. Let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Apple Tim Cook. So Apple CEO Tim Cook earned almost $100 million in 2021, a 550% increase on the previous year. Look at that, man. That man doing the deuces at it. He's making more money than probably the top 50 rappers or entertainers put together. Okay. It's what it is. It's just what it is. Okay. Apple CEO Tim Cook received a compensation package of $98 million in 2021, according to the company filing with Securities Exchange and Commission, that's the SEC. And guys, if you want to know how much money that people can make in the companies, it could be the companies that you invest in. It's easy to do so. You just go to the SEC.gov, look at 10K statements, look at proxy statements, and you'll be able to see what the executives are making. They have it in there. They have to disclose it if it's a public company. So you can go to any company that exists out there. It could be a Fortune 1000 company. As long as they're a public company that exists out there, you can go and see what their executives are making. And you will see that they're making in the millions of dollars a year. They're making millions of dollars a year. Their base salary may be 300,000 or something like that, 100,000. But from a bonus compensation, stock equity, they're making millions of dollars a year. Go to SEC.gov, look at 10K statements or look at proxy statements. You'll be able to see what your executives are making if you work for a Fortune or any public company that exists out there, because they have to disclose the information to the Security Exchange Commission. But Cook's 2020 pay package was 558% larger than in 2020, when the company awarded him $15 million in compensation. The vast majority of Cook's 2021 compensation took the form of stock awards, which are due to start vesting next year. Cook was awarded $82 million in stock awards per CNBC, and they will keep vesting even if Cook retires. So vesting periods, you guys, are, it depends on when a company rewards you with stock options and so forth. They have a certain number of years where you completely can cash out on that. Could be, you get a certain amount percent. Let's just say they give you 100 million in stock options. Well, and 25% can invest in year one, 50% can invest in year two, 75% can invest in year three, 100% can invest in year four and so forth, where you'd be able to really leverage all of that money. You can't get it all at one time, is what I'm saying. So that's what vesting means. Okay. But Cook also received $12 million incentive based on Apple's financial performance. His salary remains pegged at $3 million per year. The $98 million pay package included $630 in security expenses and $712,000 that Apple spent on personal air travel for Cook. God damn, that's a lot of money, man. Guy flies personal travel and so forth. Probably has his own jet and all too. Cook has been CEO of Apple for 10 years. In 2021, he had to contend with increasing employee unrest, with some Apple Store employees staging a walkout to demand for better working conditions on Christmas Eve. Other Silicon Valley executives, such as Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, make tiny salaries. Musk's 2020 salary was $0 and Zuckerberg's was $1. Both received millions or billions more in other forms of compensation. So, guys, when it comes down to salaries, many people choose not to take a salary, especially if you are a CEO of a company. You see that, Elon Musk's salary is $0. If you go to his proxy statement or 10K and Tesla's, you're probably going to see his base salary is $0. But believe me, he's compensated in other forms as well, stock equity, bonuses, and so forth. And, he's probably one of the richest men in the world. So don't think the salaries is where it is. When you look at some of this information, it's not just the base salary. Again, it's how these people are compensated as well. But guys, you think about it, $100 million, that's a lot of money. And Cook grew up as an industrial engineer from Auburn University, and he climbed the ranks. He started working at IBM, became a director, left IBM after doing some wonderful things and, working on computers and so forth, and, gaining a lot of traction as an individual who questioned people a lot, who knew about manufacturing and how to get supply chains working correctly, to where he went to Apple. And basically, he was one of those people that really helped save Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs was good at what he did, but he had to have people like Tim Cook who really came in and transformed Apple to start doing the contract manufacturing. And he literally said this, right? Like, we should look at our products as if they have a shelf like dairy products. So that means that you have to produce more and you have to sell more as well too. So Cook, Steve Jobs was really good at the marketing aspect of it. Cook was good at the operationalized, making sure that he operationalized their supply chain and how to make sure that products were getting to the shelf. That's what he did. And he did it so well to where he pushed so much inventory to contract manufacturers and so many, builds to contract manufacturers, to where anybody outside of Apple, they weren't going to get their products to the shelf, which is he's basically saying, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to somewhat monopolize this thing, to where if Samsung needed as a contract manufacturer to do some of this work, they're going to have to spin theirs up, which we're going to be 10 times ahead of them. right? So absolutely genius of how he was actually able to do this. And he's been at Apple for, as a CEO for 10 years. He's been at Apple, I believe, since the early 2000s, a long time, or maybe even in 1997 or something like that, right? So he's been there for a very long time, which also brings me to say this, guys. I made a video this week on committing. I made a video on this week on committing. And you see, with the people who are getting this type of money, the people who make it to this level, they commit. They commit to the company that they're at. They commit to learning more. They commit to gaining additional skills. They commit to constantly pushing the boundaries. And if you stay there long enough, if you stay doing the things that you're good at long enough, or in pursuit of growth and development, you're going to get there. It's going to take you some time, but you're going to get there. I always go back to the book that I read, Ride of a Lifetime with Bob Iger. He was at Disney for over 20 something years before he became CEO. That's a long commitment. And I know with today's world, right, it's like so easy to say, I'm going to work 5 here, 5 here, 3 here, 3 here, because I'm going to get the money in the short term. And many people choose to do that. But yeah, you're going to get a bump in salary, maybe from $150,000 to maybe 200. But you're not going to get to that $1 million level jumping from one company to the next. Maybe if you get to a CEO level and so forth, but the majority of these CEOs of these top companies that are making hundreds of millions of dollars, they're founders or they rose through the ranks at these companies. You think about Google's or Microsoft, Satya Nadella, the CEO there, rose through the ranks, was there since 1999, long time, being with the same company, long time, but continue to climb the ladder, get into that money, get to that money, get to that money. So I just wanted to make sure that I hit on that as well, too, guys, on making sure that you commit to whatever it is that you're going to do. Major, commit. Follow the path, commit. Working in a certain role, commit. Consistency, getting it done. That's how you're going to ladder climb. All right, one that I want to talk about here before I jump out of here. Let's do this. Let me hit the chat as well. Kevin Lopez. He said Kevin had the jokes on the Kevin thing. He said he likes everybody's name Kevin. I love that. King says, I hope you get that interview with the Saint. Yes, I'm going to try to get the Saint on here as well, too, because I want to talk about his education. I bought his book, but I haven't read it yet. And I want to talk about how he was able to really take a company, take multiple companies and sell them out, right? And sell them and become, having additional money in his pocket and so forth, right? Like that's important. That's important to get the information out here to you all as well, too. So I'm sure we'll be able to connect relatively soon and I'll be able to get him on the show. But PW says, thanks for information once again, brother. Absolutely, man. I appreciate real pill awareness. Advance your career. You're the best, bro. Thanks for putting us on game. Absolutely, my man. Christian says, BH, I would love for you to do a video one day on Patreon discussing how to negotiate your salary and perks and maximize your earning potential at your current company or future employee. I can absolutely do that, Christian. I would love to do that. Matter of fact, I'll get that video done within the next week. I will do that for sure. That will be coming from Christian. I'll make sure that you're going to get the tag on the video suggestion as well, too, Christian. So absolutely, brother. Be engineer. Yes, I appreciate you, man. It's true, guys. It's true. You're not going to get to that $1 million salary unless you stick it out and you commit. So one other thing I wanted to hit before I got out of here. And guys, guess what, man? I haven't even had any coffee yet this morning. We're going to stop at Starbucks on our way out of here. And that's when I'm going to have my coffee. But I'm energized this morning because, I had a good rest last night, guys. I had really good rest. And not only that, I love these sorts of topics. And to bring this level of energy in the morning to wake us up. It's coffee time. You guys are having coffee. I'm drinking water right now.